Imagine the scene. Christmas morning, 1952. The air is cold and crisp, and the spirit of the holiday clings to every icy breath. You wake up to find your stocking dangling from the bedpost, the weighty promise of a single orange wrapped carefully in delicate tissue paper at its bottom, a precious treat in those times of scarcity. The chilly front room of your house, sealed shut for most of the year to conserve warmth and energy, is finally opened for this special day, filling with the rare but cherished fragrance of festivities. Outside, the streets are etched with the lingering scars of war, slowly mending as Britain picks itself up from years of strife. This was Christmas in a nation still healing, a season marked by the echoes of rationing and reflection. Society was steeped in resourcefulness, a palpable sense of perseverance hanging in the air like the breath of a nation exhaling a long-withheld sigh. The early 1950s are grounded in a reality smudged by post-war austerity. Rationing, first imposed during the grim days of 1940, doggedly persisted well into the decade. By 1953, sugar finally escaped the tight grip of rationing, followed by sweets in 1954. Yet, the first Christmas celebrations of that era demanded meticulous preparation and an unwavering commitment to ingenuity. Every cake, pudding, or biscuit that graced the table required a concerted family effort, pooling resources and saving up those precious ration coupons. Christmas cake during those times wasn't simply a dessert. It was a collective family endeavor. Dried fruits were squirreled away for months by mothers who became masters of culinary adaptation. Neighbors bartered and exchanged ration coupons to gather enough ingredients. When scarcity dictated, culinary creativity flourished. Grated carrots found their way into the Christmas pudding, adding sweetness and bulk, while mock cream stood in for the genuine article. The Ministry of Food, ever inventive, distributed recipes for mock turkey, a concoction of sausage meat, vegetables, and breadcrumbs, expertly shaped and roasted to mimic its more authentic counterpart. It may have sounded grim, but such was the lesson of the 1950s: to make do and soldier on. Most households sported a front room, known as the parlor, an austere space preserved for only the most special occasions. Cold and untouched for most of the year, it was miraculously transformed on Christmas Day. The first flickers of coal-fired warmth would breathe life into the room, the air suddenly swirling with the mingled aromas of dust, dampness, and the rare luxury of heat penetrating the freezing chill. Gathering in the room for Christmas dinner, families donned their finest attire. The wireless crackled with the sweet strains of carols, and the King's Speech, later the Queen's, resonated through the airwaves. For a brief and precious time, the front room pulsed as the heart of the home. But with Boxing Day, the magic retreated, the fire extinguished, the door sealed once again, preserving the room in its wintry hush until next December. Decorations were a labor of love, each one handcrafted with care and imagination. Ragged strips of old newspapers transformed into paper chains, held together by flour and water paste. For those who could afford a touch of color, crepe paper added a splash of festivity. Yet even the plain prints of newspaper chains brought warmth and cheer, our ceilings festooned with symbols of resilience and ingenuity. Baubles were glass, fragile relics from a pre-war era, cherished and handled with the utmost regard lest they shatter beyond replacement. Tinsel glimmered with threads of real metal, not the plastic of later decades. If your family had angel hair, those ethereal strands of spun glass that shimmered enchantingly but prickled your fingers, then you were indeed fortunate. The Christmas tree itself was a rare indulgence, not a uniform sight in every household, embodying the precious nature of such simple joys. Growing up, if you celebrated Christmas, the experience was intimate, authentic, and personalized with whatever modest treasures you had. On Christmas morning, you would eagerly dig into your stocking and be delighted to discover a bright, juicy orange, or perhaps a sweet tangerine, both carefully wrapped in shiny silver foil. These citrus fruits were not only a seasonal highlight but also quite a luxury, given their rarity and cost. To find one nestled in your stocking was akin to stumbling upon a hidden gem. Alongside, there might be a handful of walnuts, their shells still intact, adding a rustic charm to the collection. If fortune favored you, a small bar of chocolate awaited, its rich sweetness a true indulgence. Also tucked away in the stocking could be a charming wooden toy or a lovingly hand-knitted item crafted by your grandmother with care and affection. Those who grew up with such simple yet meaningful surprises hold those memories dear, perhaps even more so than children today who are surrounded by rooms brimming with presents. Entertainment back then was a community affair, vibrant and interactive. Instead of the perpetual hum of televisions, families would gather and enjoy live performances, attending pantomimes at local theaters where the air was filled with laughter and cheer. Church carol services were bustling with joyous congregants, their voices uniting in harmonious song. Boxing Day marked a time for visiting relatives, a tradition that often meant long walks if public transportation was scarce or buses were off schedule. With them, families would carry slices of leftover cake, lovingly wrapped in greaseproof paper, as a humble offering and a gesture of thoughtfulness. Gift-giving was a heartfelt endeavor, with many presents being crafted by hand. Scarves, gloves, and jumpers were knitted anew from or unraveled from older garments that had outgrown their purpose, carrying forward a legacy of sustainability and creativity. In those bygone days, winter months saw mothers gathering around the inviting warmth of the fireplace, their hands deftly moving as they secretly knitted scarves, sweaters, and mittens. With each stitch, there was love, patience, and attention to detail. Meanwhile, fathers, with the chill biting at their fingers, would retreat to garden sheds to carefully whittle and carve wooden toys. Each dollhouse, train, or set of building blocks bore the marks of their dedication, with every smooth edge and painted detail speaking volumes of the silent hours spent under dim lamps. These handmade gifts, when revealed on Christmas morning with eager hands, carried with them a special significance. They were not just presents, they were tangible expressions of personal devotion, far surpassing any item plucked from a store shelf. By the late 1950s, however, things began to change. The end of rationing brought relief. The economy, newly buoyant, meant disposable income was no longer a fanciful dream. For ordinary families, it was finally possible to look beyond the tiresome loop of life's necessities. A landmark occurrence in 1957 heralded more modern times. The Queen's Christmas speech was televised for the first time. This pioneering broadcast marked a turning point. Televisions were becoming household fixtures, and families would convene, mesmerized by the flickering images. If you were among those without a set, you didn't hesitate to visit a neighbor's home. This was not passive entertainment. It was active participation, an event that commanded attention. Come the 1960s, and Christmas began to reflect a new era of vibrant change. It was a decade of transformation, as festivities grew not just in volume and commercial appeal, but in vividness. The pivotal year of 1967 saw the Queen's address explode into homes in brilliant color. For a privileged few with color TVs, their living rooms became communal hubs, with neighbors crowding in to marvel at this Technicolor revelation. This shift did more than add hues. It infused Christmas with a sense of wonder, making it electric. Television itself redefined holiday traditions. Programs like Billy Smart's Circus were staples of Christmas Day viewing, and popular soaps like Coronation Street brought the spirit of the season directly into living rooms. The Radio Times, once a simple listings guide, became a crucial tool for planning the holiday schedule. Each wanted show duly circled for eager viewing. Fashion wasn't exempt from this wave of change. The 1960s, a catalyst for style revolutions, also reinvented holiday decor. Vivid tinsel trees and futuristic aluminum versions with their shimmering, silver faux needles adorn homes. Innovative lighting, rotating color wheels, cast dynamic red, green, and blue tones, making the entire room a festive canvas. Holiday meals transformed as well. The turkey, once a luxurious rarity, settled into its role as the centerpiece of the Christmas feast by the mid-60s. Accompanied by all the traditional sides and followed by a refined Christmas pudding, it symbolized newfound accessibility and abundance. The decade also saw the birth of the holiday drinks cabinet. Babycham, with its signature green bottle and deer insignia, became a staple despite opinions on its taste. This period also gave rise to tinned fruit, serving as an exotic and fancy conclusion to meals, often enjoyed with a pour of carnation evaporated milk. Toys evolved alongside these cultural shifts. The 1960s introduced beloved icons like Cindy Dolls and Action Man. With the advent of television advertising aimed squarely at young audiences, children became active participants in shaping their Christmas morning reality. They flipped through thick catalogs, dog-eared pages, crafted wish lists, and eagerly awaited specific toys, signaling a subtle shift in holiday expectations toward desire and anticipation. As the 1970s dawned with its distinctive chill, evidenced by frost forming inside bedroom windows, it marked another evolution in the cherished tapestry of Christmas traditions. Imagine waking up on a frosty winter morning, where the windows in your bedroom are adorned with delicate ice patterns. You might find yourself absent-mindedly scraping them off with your fingernail just to catch a glimpse of the weak, chilly daylight beyond. The windows are covered in single-glazed glass, offering little insulation from the biting cold outside. The house is void of modern comforts like central heating, relying instead on a solitary coal fire in the downstairs living room to radiate warmth throughout the home. On Christmas morning, this becomes a race. You leap out of bed, your breath visible in the crisp air of your bedroom. Collecting your presents with glee, you bound downstairs, hoping to find the living room already aglow with the warmth of the coal fire. If you're lucky, your dad has been up since dawn, battling the cold to ensure the fire's inviting glow greets the family as they gather. The smell of cold smoke, heavy and black, fills the air, becoming synonymous with the smell of Christmas itself, a scent that is somehow imperfectly perfect. The decorations of the 1970s went all out, subscribing to the motto that if a little tinsel was good, then more was always better. Everywhere you looked, tinsel abounded, draped thickly over the Christmas tree, swirling around picture frames, and looping gracefully across the mantelpiece. The ceiling was a canvas bursting with color and creativity, adorned with concertina paper decorations that were pulled out to their full length and secured with drawing pins. Red paper bells, vibrant green lanterns, and multicolored garlands stretched to meet at the center of the ceiling, creating a festive explosion overhead. By Boxing Day, the aftermath showed half the decorations had surrendered to gravity, having tumbled to the floor, or having been accidentally brushed against by tall uncles making their way through the festive chaos. The ornaments, or baubles, on the tree were a riot of color, an eclectic collection of bright and mismatched wonders that caught the light and captivated the eye. The fairy lights that adorned the homes were a kaleidoscope of colors, bringing a vibrant hue to the holiday atmosphere. Yet, in a typical 70s fashion, many of these lights had a few bulbs out, refusing to light up without a solid hour of fussing. It was a yearly ritual to spend Christmas Eve painstakingly testing each bulb, muttering under your breath, until, like a Christmas miracle, the entire string blinked into existence, illuminating the room with festive cheer. When it came to trees, practicality reigned supreme. Real trees, though charming, were notorious for shedding needles all over the carpet and the price added to the hassle. Therefore, artificial trees became the household staple. You'd often procure one from a place like Woolworths, where the trees were just a tad off-center, but that added character. These trees weren't just for one season. Some families cherished the same albeit battered artificial tree since 1974. Despite its wear, it remained a beloved centerpiece of their seasonal decor. However, the uniqueness of Christmas in the 70s lay beyond decorations. It was the era of power cuts, where strikes and petrol shortages loomed, turning bright, festive evenings into candlelit gatherings due to unexpected blackouts. Interestingly, these were the occasions etched most vividly in people's memories. When televisions went blank, it became an opportunity for families to reconnect, playing cards, singing carols, and engaging in conversations that crafted stories television never could replicate. Even the routines of the festive period had their charm. Corner shops, bastions of local community, would open briefly on Christmas morning, just an hour, courtesy of Mr. Patel or Mrs. Jones, who manned the counters, providing last-minute essentials such as milk or that elusive dried sage. The milkmen, part of the charming yesteryear logistics, upheld their routine of delivering clinking glass bottles of fresh milk before dawn, ensuring households had ample supplies for tea and delectable puddings. Once shops closed on Christmas Eve, they wouldn't open until the 27th of December, making the community spirit vital. Running short of something meant turning to neighbors, knocking on doors in the hope of finding a shared bounty, a spare tin of condensed milk needed for a trifle, perhaps. The Queen's speech at 3 in the afternoon was a non-negotiable tradition, akin to the secular liturgy of the season. Entire holiday meal timings revolved around this broadcast. Mothers fluttered about the kitchen, orchestrating a culinary symphony, ensuring everything was set while everyone else gathered in living rooms. As the address began, a respectful silence fell over households, the family pausing their activities to absorb the monarch's words, before resuming their celebratory feast. Yet, the grand spectacle awaited by millions each year came in the form of a widely anticipated Christmas special. The 1977 broadcast captivated a staggering audience of 28 million viewers, representing half of Britain, creating shared conversations that lingered long after the festive period, as individuals reminisced over sketches and moments that transcended digital divides. Drinks represented a taste of the season, a snowball concoction consisting of advocaat, delightfully thick and yellow reminiscent of liquid custard, mixed playfully with lemonade, and a dash of lime cordial, all crowned with a vibrant cherry on a cocktail stick. It was a saccharine indulgence that defined Christmas, sweet, undeniably sickly, yet somehow indispensable. Adults sipped slowly by the warmth of the hearth, indulging in their chosen beverages, while children gleefully received lemonade in tall glasses, feeling sophisticated as they mirrored their elders. Dinner tables groaned under the weight of traditional Christmas fare, heightened by the 70s penchant for experimentation. Offering a hint of sophistication, the prawn cocktail starter featured iceberg lettuce, tinned prawns, and a creamy Marie Rose sauce elegantly served in glass dishes. Families felt they were partaking in something refined when this dish appeared. The centerpiece, a gargantuan turkey, diligently basted under mother's care throughout the morning, was flanked by aromatic roast potatoes, Brussels sprouts boiled excessively, carrots, parsnips, luscious bistro gravy, tangy bread sauce, and cranberry relish served straight from a tin. It was a meal synonymous with trust, providing the comforting essence of what Christmas should encapsulate, a festival translated into flavors shared amongst loved ones. To finish, a rich, brandy-soaked Christmas pudding was ignited with a ceremonial flair, conjuring a magical, timeless scene emboldened by the warmth and light of the season spirit. As everyone gathered around, their eyes fixated on the mesmerizing dance of blue flames flickering in the fireplace, an air of anticipation hung in the room. Hidden within the depths of those flames was a small silver coin known as a sixpence, and tradition had it that whoever stumbled upon it would be blessed with good fortune for the coming year. It felt like a magical treasure hunt as attendees pondered over who might emerge as the lucky finder. After the flames had settled, a new spectacle emerged. A mountain of discarded wrapping paper lay sprawled out across the room. In the heat of excitement, nobody bothered with neatly folding or saving the vibrant papers. Instead, they tore through their packages with childlike glee, sending shreds of colorful paper cascading through the air like confetti. This wild frenzy of unwrapping was both chaotic and exhilarating, the joy palpable and infectious. Eventually, as the adrenaline subsided, the family members, bloated from festive feasting and filled with a pleasant fatigue, nestled into the comfort of plush sofas. They gathered together in front of the flickering television screen, sharing in quiet moments of companionship. Boxes of chocolates, Quality Street or Roses, were passed from hand to hand, with each person picking their favorites until only the hard, less popular toffees remained, resigned to their fate at the bottom of the tin. The presents that had been unwrapped were treasures in their own right. Amongst them was usually one standout gift, one that held the promise of dreams fulfilled and aspirations realized, the coveted item wished for all year long. Perhaps it was a chopper bike, radiating in bright shades of orange or yellow, complete with high handlebars and a sleek gear stick. Receiving one was a rite of passage, granting you instant celebrity status among peers on the street. Alternatively, it might have been a space hopper, with its quirky bounce, an etch-a-sketch for budding artists, or a beloved Cindy for imaginative play. These toys were not trifling or ephemeral. They were cherished possessions, lovingly cared for, because the knowledge lingered that a replacement was a year away. That single gift, though singular, etched itself into memories to be cherished for a lifetime. With the dawn of the 1980s, a new wave of excitement arrived, a technological revolution that transformed the very essence of Christmas. Suddenly, the holiday was not merely an echo of age-old traditions but an eagerly awaited opportunity to embrace the latest innovations. New gadgets and must-have toys dominated wish lists, and no gift had a more profound impact than the introduction of the video recorder. It was a groundbreaking device that revolutionized how families interacted with entertainment, altering the landscape of Christmas and beyond. The arrival of VHS recorders in living rooms across Britain marked a significant shift in how families engaged with television. These devices, large and initially perplexing, became a staple in 1 out of every 10 homes by 1982. By the close of the decade, they were present in over half of the households. For the first time, viewers had the power to record broadcasts, a revolutionary change which meant they no longer had to decide between watching the blockbuster film airing on BBC One or the special feature on ITV. With this ability to record, households eagerly pored over the radio times and TV times, meticulously circling programs, strategizing about what to watch live and what to keep for later. Christmas mornings took on a new excitement as children eagerly unwrapped gifts, which now often included a blank VHS tape, ready to capture the Disney movie planned for later in the day. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, the introduction of the microwave in the late 80s revolutionized holiday meal preparation. This modern, space-age appliance could defrost the turkey in just a few minutes, a task that used to take hours, and reheated Christmas pudding in an instant. Despite the occasional rubbery texture of microwave desserts, it was seen as progress, a leap forward in making holiday preparation less burdensome. Decorating trends evolved too, with the chaotic, colorful tinsel of the 70s giving way to more sophisticated and matching sets. Christmas trees were now styled consistently in themes of red and gold or blue and silver, adorned with matching baubles and high-end decorations that represented a new economic investment into the holiday spirit. The messy array of ceiling garlands disappeared, replaced by elegant glass ornaments, and fiber optic trees became the ultimate symbol of 80s Christmas tech, with their glowing and color-changing lights that seemed virtually magical. Toys also started to dominate the Christmas wish lists, transforming into major holiday obsessions. The Rubik's Cube took 1980 by storm, followed by Cabbage Patch Kids in 1983, bonded with unique facial features and adoption papers, creating such a frenzy that stores couldn't stock them fast enough, leading to frenzied parents wrestling over them in stores. Each year brought its own craze with He-Man figures, Transformers, and Care Bears. This era invented the modern toy craze, where one specific toy would become so desired that it defined that year's holiday season, leaving those who didn't receive it feeling left out. The Argos catalogue, introduced in 1973, became a Christmas staple throughout the 80s. Children would spend hours flipping through its pages, circling every item they wished for and crafting their lists with a growing expectation that Christmas was no longer about the simple pleasure of an orange in one's stocking, but about having choices and getting what was desired. While the festive table still featured traditional dishes like turkey with all the trimmings and Christmas pudding, conveniences emerged. Retailers like Marks & Spencer offered pre-prepared vegetables, and supermarkets made turkey crowns available to simplify meal prep, making what was once an exhaustive day of cooking more manageable. Opinions varied on these conveniences. Some embraced them as progress, while others lamented the loss of the effort that made the meals feel truly earned. The 1980s also saw the craze of SodaStream machines, which allowed families to make their own fizzy drinks at home, a novelty that inspired the catchy slogan, "Get busy with the fizzy." Kids delighted in concocting slightly flat cola on Christmas morning, thrilled at the thought of creating something seemingly extraordinary. As the 80s folded into history, the celebration of Christmas in Britain had undergone a vast transformation. What started as a modest holiday with an orange and homemade decorations in the 1950s had evolved into an event marked by technology, commercialism, and a flair for style. The essential magic of Christmas had not disappeared, but had shifted, becoming intertwined with the new traditions and advancements of the era. If this nostalgia resonates, consider sharing it with someone